Does your mind resemble a frantic racetrack, perpetually circling anxieties and what-ifs? Are you haunted by past errors, or consumed by fears of uncontrollable futures? This mental whirlwind, though common, is far from beneficial. Excessive worry is a thief of energy, a roadblock to productivity, and a drain on your well-being. We often become trapped in cycles of hypothetical dread, fixating on outcomes beyond our influence. This constant mental turmoil not only depletes our resources but also robs us of present-moment joy. Let's delve into the compelling reasons to liberate ourselves from excessive worry, and discover how this liberation can profoundly enhance our lives. One of the biggest reasons to stop worrying is that it doesn't actually solve anything. Worrying is like a rocking chair, it gives you something to do, but it doesn't get you anywhere. Instead of focusing on the problem, chronic worrying keeps you stuck in fear and doubt. Real solutions come from action, not endless worrying. So, rather than getting lost in negative thoughts, shift your focus to what you can do right now. Try to think about it for a moment. When you're caught in a worry spiral, are you actively problem-solving? Are you brainstorming solutions, gathering information, or taking concrete steps? More often than not, you're just replaying the same negative scenarios, amplifying your fear and anxiety. You're stuck in a loop of what-ifs and worst-case scenarios, and that loop doesn't lead to any tangible progress. This constant mental rehashing actually hinders your ability to think clearly and creatively. Your brain is so preoccupied with the perceived threat that it can't focus on finding solutions. It's like trying to navigate a maze while blindfolded, you're just stumbling around in the dark. The truth is, true problem-solving requires action. It requires you to shift your focus from the abstract fear to the concrete steps you can take. Instead of dwelling on the what-ifs, ask yourself, what can I do right now to address this situation? This shift in focus is crucial. It empowers you to take control, even if it's just a small step. Maybe it's researching potential solutions, talking to someone you trust, or breaking down the problem into smaller, more manageable tasks. Any action, no matter how small, is a step forward, a step away from that unproductive rocking chair. By taking action, you're not only addressing the problem, but you're also reclaiming your sense of agency. You're proving to yourself that you're not helpless in the face of uncertainty. And that, my friends, is the real power move. It's about trading the anxiety of inaction for the confidence of proactive problem-solving. So, next time you find yourself rocking back and forth in worry, remind yourself, it's time to get up and start walking. Excessive worry doesn't just affect your mind, it affects your body too. Chronic stress and anxiety can lead to some health problems like high blood pressure, digestive issues, sleep disturbances, weakened immune system. When you worry too much, your body is constantly in a state of stress, which can wear you down over time. Taking steps to reduce worry isn't just good for your mind, it's essential for your physical health too. Beyond physical symptoms, excessive worrying can take a serious toll on mental health. It contributes to anxiety disorders, depression, and emotional exhaustion. Overthinking can make minor problems seem insurmountable, leading to a cycle of negative thinking that becomes hard to. It also interferes with your ability to focus, make decisions, and enjoy life. Over time, chronic worry can rewire the brain to remain in a heightened state of stress, making relaxation and peace of mind even harder to achieve. Recognizing this cycle and actively working to break free from it is essential for long-term well-being. Excessive worrying can put a strain on relationships, whether it's with a partner, family member, or friend. When you constantly worry about things going wrong, whether it's about the relationship itself, the future, or even small daily concerns, it creates an environment of stress. Over time, this tension can become overwhelming for both you and the people around you. For example, if you're always anxious about your partner's feelings or fear that they will leave you, you may start seeking constant reassurance. While occasional reassurance is natural in relationships, needing it all the time can make the other person feel pressured or drained. It shifts the dynamic from a secure connection to one based on fear and doubt. Instead of letting worry control the relationship, focus on open communication and trust. remind yourself that not every situation requires overthinking. Sometimes, things are simply okay just as they are. When you worry excessively, you may start assuming the worst about a situation or a person's intentions. This can lead to misunderstandings, unnecessary arguments, and even resentment. For instance, if your friend or partner doesn't reply to your message immediately, worrying might make you think they're ignoring you, upset with you, or losing interest. Instead of calmly waiting for a response, you might send multiple messages or overthink what you may have done wrong. This can make the other person feel overwhelmed and frustrated, which could result in actual conflict. Worrying makes it harder to see situations objectively. Instead of assuming the worst, take a step back and consider other possibilities. Maybe they're just busy or preoccupied with something unrelated to you. Learning to manage these anxious thoughts can prevent unnecessary strain on your relationships. When you worry too much, you might try to control situations or people in an attempt to ease your anxiety. This is especially common in romantic relationships or close friendships, where the fear of losing someone can cause you to act in ways that push them away. For example, if you're constantly worried about your partner's loyalty, you might start checking their social media, asking too many questions, or needing constant validation. While these actions come from a place of fear, they can actually damage trust instead of strengthening it. Healthy relationships thrive on mutual respect and trust, not control and fear. If you find yourself worrying excessively about things that are beyond your control, remind yourself that trust is a choice, and without it, relationships struggle to grow. Worrying isn't just mentally exhausting, it's physically draining too. When your brain is constantly in a state of anxiety, your body responds by staying in a heightened state of stress. This leads to fatigue, headaches, muscle tension, and even sleep disturbances. Have you ever noticed how tired you feel after a long day of overthinking? That's because worrying consumes a huge amount of mental energy. The more you dwell on negative thoughts, the less energy you have for productive and enjoyable activities. Instead of using up your energy on things that are beyond your scope, redirect it toward positive habits. Engage in activities that help you relax, such as meditation, exercise, or hobbies you enjoy. The more you practice calming your mind, the more energy you'll have for the things that truly matter. When you're always lost in your own worries, it becomes harder to be present for the people in your life. You might find yourself distracted during conversations, unable to fully enjoy time with loved ones, or even withdrawing from social interactions altogether. Excessive worrying can create emotional distance in relationships. If you're always preoccupied with negative thoughts, you may unintentionally neglect the emotional needs of your partner, friends, or family members. Over time, this can cause disconnection and frustration. To avoid this, make a conscious effort to be present when spending time with others. Practice mindfulness, listen actively, and remind yourself that worrying won't change the future, it only takes away from the present moment. If you struggle with constant worry in your relationships, here are a few practical steps to help break the cycle. Identify the root cause. Ask yourself why you're worrying. Is it based on past experiences? Fear of rejection? Recognizing the source of your worry can help you address it. Communicate openly. If you're feeling anxious about something, talk about it instead of bottling it up. Open, honest communication can prevent misunderstandings. Challenge negative thoughts. When you start overthinking, challenge those thoughts. Are they based on facts or just fear? Often, worry is fueled by worst-case scenarios that never happen. Practice self-care. Take care of yourself physically and emotionally. Exercise, eat well, and get enough sleep. These habits help reduce anxiety naturally. Set boundaries with your thoughts. Allow yourself a specific time to think about concerns, and then let them go. If a worry comes up outside of that time, remind yourself that it's not productive to dwell on it. Worrying too much won't change the future, but it will steal your peace in the present. It drains your energy, creates unnecessary stress in relationships, and keeps you stuck in a cycle of fear. But the good news? You have the power to break free from excessive worry. Instead of overthinking, focus on what you can control: your actions, your mindset, and your responses. Let go of the fear, trust the process, and embrace the present moment. Remember, life is too short to spend it worrying. You deserve peace, happiness, and meaningful connections. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need to hear this. Thanks for watching, and take care.